Allez, welcoming a robot to my farm, best practices. We're going to have a 45 minutes discussion and then we'll be open to any questions from the audience. So feel free to come and join us. There's a lot of room here on the robotic island. For this fourth roundtable this week, I'm really happy and honored to welcome Jes Pedersen from Agrointelli, Christian Kirchhoff, CEO of Cult, and Julien Bavy from Agronova. A bit of context. Before we start our discussion, the toolbox. What kind of ecosystem is needed to welcome a robot onto a farm with the necessary support, that is financing, adapting the fields, after-sales service, training of the workforce, and let's not forget the role of distributor, of course. Let's start with Jes Pedersen from Agrointelli, the manufacturer's vision. So you've been doing pitches all week, but still, could you present Agrointelli? Which type of robot do you build for which type of tools?
Yes, we are building Roboti. Roboti is an autonomous tool carrier, and we have 75 horsepower Kubota diesel engine, and it's standing right here, so you can all see it. And it's a four-wheel drive. We have multiplied possibilities for tools. That will say we can also carry seeders, we can carry weeders, we can carry sprayers. Yeah, whatever the farmer he can imagine, we can put on the body.
It's a self-driving platform, right? That's how you...
Yes, it's an autonomous robot, and it drives without any driver in the field.
And Roboti, I think, is already commercially proven and used in 16 countries today, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We have produced until now 50 robots, and they are all running in Europe and also in the world.
Where in the world?
Well, we have one or two in Australia, we have one on the way to China, we have one in Azerbaijan, one in Canada, and multiplies in Europe, in all countries.
Yes, when we prepared this session, you said that a robot like that is the future of farming. Why?
Yes, it is the future. Actually, it's right now. We can buy, as we sell it now, and it's available, and come to our stand and we will find out how to deliver tomorrow.
You said that precision farming techniques and robotics are a perfect match. Why would you say that?
Well, it's a perfect match because it will save the farmer some hours in the field. He will not get tired of sitting on the tractor. It's he gets more possibility to spend some time with his kids instead of just being in the field.
However, this looks kind of complicated. So how do you accompany your clients to the use of such a robot? Do you provide some training? How does it work? How do you do?
Yes, every time we sell a robot, we are coming to the farmer, helping him with our tool planner. So we have a software to the robot, and it's not complicated, but still it needs an introduction, so to say.
And do you accompany your clients in the long term with the use of the robot?
Yeah, every time he has a problem, he's free to call, and we always have a WhatsApp group for every robot that we have, so that the farmer, he can ask questions, and there will be someone in the sitting and answering.
Yes, tell me, what does a farmer need to do to adapt in his farm such a robot?
Well, he needs to be patient. Yeah, that says he needs to have a passion for robotics, so he also needs to put himself into how it is to run with a robot. You know, it takes a little bit more strict in the field. He cannot put a water pipe wherever he wants. You know, it needs to be away from where the robot should drive, because it will stop if somebody is in front of it.
But do the farmer needs to have computer knowledge, for example?
Not necessarily, but it's, of course, always an advantage if he knows what a computer is. But our platform is very intuitive. You know, for every step that the farmer is doing in the platform, he is guided.
And how about after-sale service and maintenance? How does it work?
Well, so we have a complete spare part list book. We have instructions manual. We have tutorials. We have all kinds of help. And of course, also every time the farmer is free to call. And we have also, in each country, we have distributors who can help locally.
Okay.
And also, the robotic is a diesel hydraulic engine, so it's well-known technology, so it's not very complicated.
Maybe we'll touch on the legislation and responsibility points in a few minutes. Thank you, Jess. I would like to hear Christian now. Christian Kirchhoff, CEO of Cult. Of course, we've had some pitches of Cult earlier with Jonathan, but can you present your company again? What are your activities?
Yeah, the company Cult was founded in 1989, and the main core business is doing weeding equipment. So we try to do tools which are working in the plant row or beside the plant row. Around the year 2000, we started to dig into electronic steering of machines. So it was rear-mounted machines for sure, with camera or vision-based software, and developed our interest into the GPS area as well. And later, like 2015, I would say, we started to present the first robots on shows, and found immediately out that we should take care of the tools which are in the robots. So now when we talk about the robotic activities of Cult Crest, we are more or less provider of tools and knowledge how to use the tools for robotic companies.
Yeah, because you're a supplier of Agro-Intelli, right? Can you explain that?
Yes, you will see one machine of us in the robotic, which is equipped with a camera system, following the plant row, steering the machine with a sometimes better precision as a GPS, which can have some failures when you come again and again. So we steer with our own software right along the row, and we have additional in-row tools which work in the plant row. So we can kill or weed in the plant row.
Do you also provide some autonomous solutions to farmers directly?
No, we don't do that. We are really in the market of tools for autonomous vehicles, and we don't care, is it a robot, is it a tractor, or you see we have several other companies beside Agro-Intelli where we put robots or tools into them. And so our main goal is the tools, but I think all companies work together at the moment on projects how to control those tools. And this is something we want to dig in.
From your point of view, Christian, what would you say is at stake concerning autonomous solution in a farm? What are the main challenges today?
I mean, if you start with a robot on a farm, my personal feeling or experience is the farmer has to be open, like you said, have a passion for it. He needs to be open, and somebody on the farm really needs to take care of the robot. If you just give it to somebody and say you do this and you do it and bring it out and do it, it will not work. So you need somebody who really takes care of it on the farm and follows the project.
You say they need to have a very practical approach.
On the one side, you need a practical approach to solve your daily issues. On the other side, you must be ready. You said you must use a computer. At least you should understand the computer and understand the software around the machine. It's mostly we talk about GPS, software, and data contracts and so on. So that's also important from my point of view.
One question to both of you, and then we will hear Julien, but yes, and Christian. I would like to talk about legislation and responsibility, because what happens today if a robot destroys a crop? Who's responsible? What happens?
Well, it's always the operator who's responsible. The operator. There's always one who's logging in on the robot, and he's the one who's responsible. He's responsible
So the
for...
manufacturer is never responsible?
Well, he made the plan. So he made the plan, he put on the tools, he adjusted the tools, and he's also the one who's responsible for the robotics driving.
So that's what we call in aerospace, we call a human factor?
That is the human factor.
Christian?
I would agree, that's a human factor. And I think that's an open question at the moment, who is really responsible. At the moment we can sell our tools only when the farmer agrees to survey the tools at the right time, or the robotic company has a survey system. I think a big difference is between tools which are working in the soil and other tools like even a sprayer boom which is going just over the crop. There's a big difference. The one is not touching the soil, not touching the crop, so it cannot do direct damage. Tools which are working in the soil can do damage to the crop, or the conditions are not good for them, or there's obstacles or whatever, and the machine will maybe block. And so this is the next step we have to dig into, really, to find solutions to make a machine always stopping if something is not working.
We will ask Julien what he thinks about this, but hello Julien, thank you for being here. Could you introduce yourself and your company? What is it you're doing?
Yes, so I'm a farmer from now 3 years, and I did two first year without a robot, and Gerard Tonglet is a friend of me from Agronova, and with discussion we talked about NIO and robots for especially vegetable garden, and that was a good idea to try, and yep.
So what specific task does the robot do for you today?
Weeding. Weeding is the main thing, the main task for the robot. So, yep, weeding.
And what is your feedback? You've only been using it for 1 year, I think.
Yes.
What is your feedback so far, negative and positive?
I can start with the negative point, because for me there is only one point. It's massive learning. You have to adapt your work to the robot in that way, and not in the other way. So it means you need work, you need testing, you need practice.
And did you need some software, computer knowledge?
No, not with the small robot from NIO. It was only with GPS working, so it's really easy to create maps and using maps just after. So it's really easy. You need just a good start with good advice and a small push, a small help for beginning. And for the good points, it's really easy to use. You don't need to take a lot of time. It's really really easy, really fast. And
what are the benefits for your work?
I think there is two big benefits. The first one is time. You can earn a lot of time with the using of the robot, and the maybe other point is money. Just because with one robot you don't need more people around your vegetable garden. You can ask the robot to do everything with weeding,
Because human skill was an issue for you? You had some issue hiring people?
For me, it's more about time, and the money. It's about pay someone to do all the tasks, and it's impossible to do everything by yourself.
By yourself.
You need help. So when with Gerald, when we have this discussion, it was about pay someone or pay every time, every month, every year, or pay a robot one time with services, with everything like a pack. And for me, it was really interesting to try to start that experience with the robot, because it's a long-term reflection.
Of course. Well, you know what, Gérald, why don't you come join? Because we have a seat here, and you could explain how you persuaded Julien to get a robot. What did you say to him?
Julien, in fact, has already a problem of weeding, because I know him since long times, and I've seen his project of a vegetable garden, and we always spoke that because he's working with his father, and he said to me, okay, I always need to weed. I'm late in the season because I do not weed. I lost money because I don't have the vegetables to sell to be sold. So that was the start of the reflection. So I said, okay, I have robots. You have that. We can perhaps try, and yeah, we start like this.
That's good. Julien, did you think and did you feel you were helped? Have you been trained to use the robot? Was the help enough for you?
Not really. I think the best training is practice. The start job with the robot is really easy, and more you use the robot, more you learn, and your skills are better every time. So easy start, but long learn to do with for have best skills. And
so both of you, what advice would you like to give to farmers hesitating today to have such an equipment as a robot on their farm?
Good question.
You
can start.
I think that Mr. Peterson
We'll go around the table,
was
but
true to be passionate, first of all, because here there is also a love for technology, also from your father, and they need to embrace robotics, to say, okay, I take the time to do it, and not like the example that you said, okay, let it do it by someone else. No, we need someone special on the farm to manage it.
Christian, yes. What do you say to the farmers that hesitate?
Well, I don't know what's keeping them from buying one.
Money? Budget? That's a lot of money.
It's just a simple tractor.
Christian?
Yeah, I think when we talk about the tools which are working in the robots, we prepare the customers that they should have the proper conditions for a robot. Otherwise, it will never work. And this is not only in the field. It's like we said before. It's also the farm setup. So you are talking about a small farm, but we have big farms having robots, and then they need to organize that in a very proper way to make it finally a success. And otherwise, it's just a kind of advertising project to work in modern ways, I would say.
Do you also see differences in between generation of farmers? Like, I don't know, the young generations are more ready and willing to use new technology, would you say, or not necessary?
I would say so, yes. But you cannot say that in general because we have other areas in the world. We have young people which will never work with a robot. So
Where?
when I talk about even some areas in United States like California on big farms, we have really trouble to find young people which want to work with a robot in the field on big farms. So that's a real problem from my point of view. You need educated persons to do that.
Why? Are they scared of new technologies? What do you think is the problem?
They are just not interested, and we as a company which is working in many areas of the world, we have customers which cannot read. So we have the experience that we have people always calling a phone number and try to communicate with WhatsApp and video to get instructions how to read the display finally. So there's different type of farmers or farm setups.
Yes, what is your point of view?
But I see that the first customer, that would be like in the industry. The industry started many years ago with robotic, and it's already implemented and it was first the big companies like the car industry, then came the smaller companies, then they had robotic, and it will be the same in farming. Farming is also starting with the very big companies, who has a lot of vegetable, a lot of land to produce or to do weeding, cropping, everything. So these are the first users of robotic. That's what we see.
Julien, we talk about robotic, but there is also artificial intelligence coming up in the farms today. So what's up with that? Are you a user of artificial intelligence? What to do with the data? Is it something that can be scary for a farmer today?
Not yet. I'm not using the AI at the moment in my project. Robotic was already a big jump, a big step, and really exciting jump, exciting step. But for AI, I don't know how we can use that efficiently. But maybe for the
data, to get some data.
Conception of your plans. I don't know how we can use that in a other way. There is probably many ways, but no, not at the moment. Step by step.
Gentlemen, on AI, Christian?
Yeah, I see AI coming into our business at the moment when we talk about recognizing situations in the field. So, like for us with the weeding, it's more or less software recognizing different plant types or situations, but it's also coming in harvesting at the moment. And you asked, when you would do something for open source AI, you should put a camera under your machine and give always the information what you are doing. And if every farmer would do that all over the world, you would have an open platform which everybody could use based on AI. But there's other questions. So we have machines where we could, in theory, know where our customer is every second.
So what is the response?
And this is Data Protection Act and critical points, to be sure.
What is the responsibility of a manufacturer today concerning AI? What are your expectations towards manufacturer? What is your responsibility, Christian, as a manufacturer? And yes.
I mean, AI itself is just a type of software. There's not too much to think about, I think. It's more about, from my point of view, more about GPS data and stuff connected with AI and other situations. For us, AI is a very good and helpful tool to better identify different plants in difficult situations, which every farmer helps. But we struggle at the moment when we do data collection for one farmer. Maybe the farmer spends a lot of time for us, with us, or even alone, and later we use that for any other farmer. for free, more or less.
Which is good.
Which is nice for the other farmers,
Yes,
but the one
but
which
not
spend
for the-
all the efforts, it's not a good business model.
What do you think, Julien? Would that be useful for you?
Yeah, sure. I think with that project, that experience, I feel myself at the beginning of something bigger, and I agree with Christian. It's about share data between farmers around the world, because it's the same vegetables in Australia, in America, and in Belgium. And
Not the same climate condition?
no, sure, but probably for many things, many mission, same movement, same work.
We can apply the different sequence to different farms. That's what you want to say. Yeah.
And adapt
And
to
adapt.
climate.
Yeah.
And
Christian.
But think about if your neighbor pays us under the table certain amount of money, and then we tell him how many letters you put out, because we count your plants any second. So that's about the Data Protection Act, and that's the responsibility of the manufacturers, and we are working on contracts to sign from both sides, farmer and us, to protect the farmer data and make it possible to sell machines, really. Because otherwise it's illegal from my point of view.
Right. Yes? Do you want to say something on
Well,
that?
it is illegal. But we also have a lot of data on our body, and we also collecting images from all the fields, and that we are saving in the cloud, and these data belongs to the farmer. So it's already written in a contract like that.
Yeah, because I was going to ask about legislation. There's a lot more to do on legislation today. Everything is not settled yet. Gérald, what's your point of view on AI in a farm? Do you use AI?
I use AI in my work every day. In robotics, I think that, as you said, it will be recognition of the type of plants, but also the type of illness. That will be the big jump in the future, to know which plant is ill and when it will be ill. And that's the big issues now on which we are working today. And I think that it will be the next step, because nowadays we have robots that are working well, but we need to be more precise in the work, and to anticipate a little bit also the work. So that's for me the next jump in AI for robots.
Can I ask one last question? Christian, you were going to say something? Can I ask one last question around the table? According to you, gentlemen, what is the future of farming in a decade or so? Yes, Christian, and then...
There will be a lot of robots running in the world.
I just thought about this when I put my mic up. You know, there could be a future where you have sensors getting all the data, like you said, the moisture, the illness, the market situation, everything. Your machines are running autonomous, are in real robots, and then we always think about, do we need farmers anymore? Because everybody could do it, finally. I don't think so myself, but...
You mean farmers or human?
I say farmer. When I say farmer, the farmer has the knowledge of his soil, of his local conditions. It's also about social things in the area and so on. And I know there's already farms which are only working with sensor and knowledge and not really practical farming, from my point of view. So the society has to decide where it wants to go, finally.
Is it good for you?
I would like the real farmer in the future.
Julien, do you think that you'll be a farmer next 30 years?
Yeah, why not? And I think for the future, it's in my size, small size, it's more about working together with robotics because for the same reason, the farmer is the person on the vegetable garden who knows at the moment. And the farmers can just adapt every day his work with everything around this job, climate for sure, fields, and vegetable too. So in my point of view, with a small size, human size maybe, it's more about working together.
What's the difference between a human, a farmer, and robots, AI? Is it intuition, maybe?
I think it's about regularity.
Okay. Okay.
It's about
But a robot is regular. I mean, a robot,
Yeah.
I mean, you give him a task and he does it every day, daily.
like at the beginning of this discussion, the robot doesn't make a mistake. It's about the farmers who pick up good tools with good mission. So, yeah, I think the robotic is already really good for that job, and it's more about learning more and using robotics in different ways.
Gerald, what makes a difference between a robot and a human farmer?
As you said, for me, Julien, it's regularity. To be able to systematize the work, and if we couple that with sensors and with data and experience, we have the best farmer. But as a farmer, I hope that we will still live in 30 years, but I don't think so that robot will replace humans at 100%. I don't feel that within the 10 next years. Don't sure.
Yes? Do you think there will still be farmers within the next 50 years or only robots on the fields? It would be good for you if it was only robots, huh?
There will always be farmers.
You wish so, or...?
No, there will always be farmers.
Okay. Christian, what do you think?
I'm sure there are farmers because otherwise it will not work. But robots will help more and more in difficult situations where you cannot find the workforce. We are living in a high developed area in the world where people don't want to do simple jobs. We cannot find the workforce on the farms, so I think the robots have a very good place to support farmers.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Are there any questions? Yes, you have a question, of course. Hello, good morning.
I had a couple of questions during your sessions. One is the business case. What is the typical business case for your farmer? Is it a 1,000-hectare farm in the U.S., or is it a small vegetable grower in France?
Okay, let's ask this first question. Yeah, Christian, or yes?
I think it can be both. I think it can be both the big farming companies who's a little bit lacking in, or they see possibilities for, okay, I have 40 employees weeding carrots, and instead of that I put a laser weeder on and robotic, and it's just driving very slow, but it's doing the job instead of the 40 people. But it can also be the small one who's actually going and hand weeding, and he's going directly, instead of buying a tractor, he's just buying a robot, and then he jump several generations, and then he's top modern.
Christian?
Not too much to say because
Both,
I think you are
everything.
right, but the main issue is mostly problems with workforce, lack of labor, and we have small farmers which are just kind of pissed to organize again and again another person, introduce another person in the farm and so on. You train your robot one time and he's doing a certain job properly, and then it's done, and you don't care too much about it anymore in the way of this, meaning organizing another room for the guy or whatever, you know.
What is your current? Is it the bigger or the smaller farmer, or is brought along the line? Everybody is You have,
We have-
robots for every type of user.
I mean, we have more mid-size and big farmers as customers in the robots, I would say, and we are also having many machines behind tractors which are doing kind of robotic work when they work, like the models behind you which are working in the row. It's not a robot, but we put it in a tractor or a robot, and I think there's the next step when we talk about robots is tractors which carry big machines.
You mean driverless tractors?
Driverless tractors in the field is coming now as well, and so there is a wide range of different setups in the future.
And which is your biggest market today? Is it Europe? Is it the United States? Is it Belgium, France, England?
Till now it's Europe for us.
Yes?
Yeah, Europe.
Concerning the use of robots, so you have also some aspect on security, so for using that. So driving in the field, so is it not a problem with security outside?
So we have about 5 security systems on the robot. It will scan the area. We are only driving forwards. We have a geofence. We have everything scanned in the front of the robot, so the robot would rather stop than doing any damage.
More questions? No? Well, thank you very much, sir. Gentlemen, do you have another last message on this roundtable that you'd like to pass on?
Yeah, come and talk at our
Yeah,
stand.
come and talk to them all. They're going to be on their booth. And there's going to be some pitch sessions. So if you want to learn more about all the companies that are here on robotics, pitch sessions to follow. Thank you very much for your kind participation. Thank you for your relevant speech. And have a nice morning, nice day. Thank you so much.